All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Turkey Lake Podcast, the ninth episode with the Board Game Club finally. So yeah,
Yeah.
woo, fine. All right. All right. So we're gonna go over some stuff. How do we started? What's everybody up to? And just document and reflect on the experience in general. So everybody, first of all, I'm actually president.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm the vice president of Board Game Club.
Hi, my name is Prableen. I'm the secretary of Board Game Club.
I'm Joseph, finance slash treasurer.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Uh, how's the club doing so far?
I think it's going well. We've had a good number showing up. I think people for the most part have been pretty satisfied. We've had multiple collabs with other clubs this semester, which is pretty successful. I think the biggest thing in terms of like thing that's been challenging is like we weren't able to go on a trip outside campus, but I think that's something we could definitely achieve next semester.
I mean, yeah, I think in terms of everything, especially as a first year club, we did get a surprising amount of like new members, like 10 or 12 new members, which I think is really good, especially since last semester we had like a lot of seniors. So like we needed something to fill that up.
Yeah. I think we're doing very good this semester. We had around 10 to 15 people on average, and a lot of them new. This feels really good. And shout out to MJ, like the guy who show up early every time, and he joined this semester. So this already warms my heart. Shout out to MJ. And how do we start it?
Oh, how sorry.
I mean,
oh my goodness.
I mean, all of this came back. Okay, so like, I guess like, okay, so Joey somehow knew Ahmed, and then Joey dragged me to Ahmed's like board game. It wasn't even we weren't even like a club yet. It was just we just met up. We just met up at like Saturday, just like to play some board games. I don't know, Joey, you knew Ahmed before, so
Yeah, we had the same calc class, and I think he saw me after getting cards on my computer or something, and like talked to me afterwards.
And then I already knew asked ahead before then, and so he just told me, "Hey, I'm meeting up with a few friends to board game club. You're welcome to join." I'm like, "Okay, that sounds cool." And then what actually happened next was completely unexpected because when I got there and we had a good time and everything, next thing you know, I was like, "Oh, I hear from you. Oh yeah," but as I'm leaving, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm planning on doing this every other week." I'm like, every other week? I'm like, wait a minute. And so I was just like, if you're going to do it this often, why you should consider making this into a club. I did not realize what I unleashed when I said that.
Yeah. I just like last year, on my sophomore year, and yeah, me and Gerard are juniors, and Prableen and Joey are sophomore.
are we saying last year or are we saying this year?
Last semester.
Last semester, you guys were juniors and we were
No, we were sophomores.
yeah, you guys. This is so confusing. Okay, no, last semester you guys were sophomores and we were freshmen.
Now the one making things more complicated, I was a junior.
Well, yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. If you want to make it more complicated, me and Joey back then were sophomore back then. It's so.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, so yeah, I remember I knew some people and they really wanted to play board games, and I just invited them through to the library, and I heard like Jenna told me like, why you make it a club? Okay, then it started to happen. We started. The first thing you need to do a club is like there are a few simple rules for university. You need at least 10 people interested, and we had 10 people that night.
That's crazy, yeah.
We're just like, oh, that's very cool. So yeah, and the other thing you need somebody like a faculty member to sponsor your club, which is we had two for the first semester, so which is really funny. The first one, which we had Nate Breuer, he was my UDT teacher, like something related to University of Dayton Global. It was just for international student, and he was a part time. He wasn't like fully full time, but so
is he full time now? Or is it still?
He's affiliated with the university.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. So, but thankfully it worked. And I talked to my biology teacher. I told her like, "Oh, do you want to sponsor our club?" She said yes. So we had like two for one
I mean-
semester.
I mean, I haven't met this biology teacher.
Yeah.
And it was like, and what was crazy is like I needed this idea Saturday. You come back to me on Monday that you're starting this club. I'm like, listen, I figured honestly that you would give it a try, knowing you, but I did not expect you to do it so quickly. I was like, when you said that on Monday, I'm like, you're already starting to try to make this into a club. Like you didn't even sit down and think about it for that long. You're just immediately already, and you said you already had someone. I'm like, yeah,
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know how you found a faculty member. Usually, faculty members are very. I don't know. I mean, it depends how much a faculty members don't have to do much.
that's the base thing is that
Okay,
it's
thank
really they're real. This clubs are really student led. Really, it's just like all the teachers really doing just saying I am partially responsible for what happens in the club, and that's really what all they're doing. Say I trust these students. I mean that's really the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lucky if we didn't find an advisor, maybe I could have roped in my physics professor because my physics professor would have definitely done that. But
Yeah, I think once you establish connection with professor, you can like they'll be more than happy to do something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh so and one funny thing, the biology teacher we had, she was amazing, but I didn't do well in terms of grade at the end of the semester. So that was really embarrassing. So but thankfully it got sorted out in the end, which is really funny, like we're in good terms. But that was really and yeah, and then we started to meet on the library. We were like not very official, but we kind of like potential organization.
We were basically trying to get ourselves established, showing that we could be a club. That's basically the main thing we're doing. We're proving that we could be a club. I think I think technically last semester
we weren't.
were we ever
I
officially
don't.
submitted?
Last semester, no, because
I thought maybe partway through we didn't make it so that we were official, but we just had
It was like a semi-official, like
it was semi-official. Yeah, it was like semi-official. Well, like through 1850, which is what.
yeah, we didn't get 1850 until this semester. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get that makes sense. But that in the room we're talking in now is where we're primarily used to have all this when we had this smaller room.
Yeah, it was room 502 at the library. I kind of missed the library. It was like smaller and
It would not fit everybody.
yeah, it will not fit everybody.
But there is something about the smaller room feeling more I don't know, it's just nice to feel like there was more conversational, not in a wet way.
Yeah.
So it was you definitely got like even if you were doing your own thing, you definitely got to see what was going on like with the other groups.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, I remember also scheduling was an issue with the room because you only need to schedule. So then I will just schedule up to 2 to 3 hours, and sometimes the room get reserved. I remember the worst day on the board game club where we had to move rooms 3 times in the library.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, but thankfully now we have our own room, and yeah, I think I'm happy with how things going from last semester to this semester. I think like people are getting more interested,
Yeah.
and yeah, and the process to starting club was a bit slow for us because we wanted to show consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like uh we applied, then we waited, then we like applied again. So I think the biggest thing made us kind of successful that we were not in a rush. So
Yeah.
we didn't try to rush.
Oh, yeah.
everything.
I mean, we were still doing. I mean, we were still doing every other week for quite a while. We didn't really get into every week until closer to this semester, really. So we were still kind of doing it at a slow pace, and I think we also had a thing like I know I discussed with you is like for now just focus on like spreading it to like the core members and like friends to like friends kind of spreading the word and like the few clubs that we were part of that we knew would have people interested like we just kind of kept the news there about the club and we were like but we would reserve like the full on advertising that we had until next semester when up the org started and that's when we actually started to be advertised to everybody since then we were now official.
Yeah, that's good. So one thing, like we didn't try to advertise very much last semester. We kind of like underdog-ish club, but now we have an Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, UD Board Game Club. It's really good. We have thanks to Evan. He always do a lot of cool stuff. And
The new officer of the board game club.
yeah,
this semester.
he's the social media
He does
manager.
good. He does good for dancing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good. He always
He's on top of it for sure.
That's amazing. All right. One of the things I'm really grateful is the amount of games I get to experience every week and the people I meet. It's interesting because there are a lot of cool games I wouldn't expect I would ever try if we didn't meet with the club. One of them is skateball and
Yeah, we're not talking about skip on this
Oh.
podcast.
I mean,
we
it's,
can.
I mean, it's one of the major. I would argue one of the major events of the board game club.
I made sure.
I don't know. We don't have to necessarily talk
If
about it
we-
now, but we probably should talk about it a little bit.
Maybe on a secret episode.
All right. So there was a lot. Like I remember, yeah, you brought up the game Bang, which is like really interesting.
Yeah,
And
great for large groups.
Bang is classic for fun.
yeah, and one cool thing, there's one guy, Nick, who always break all the wingspans.
Oh,
Always,
yeah,
See,
all the
I
spins.
haven't gotten to play a spin yet.
yeah. What? You have Nick? He showed.
I know.
All right, we got a meeting today. That's what you're doing today.
God damn it.
I
Maybe he
think
shows up. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna make him show up. So yeah, and like people will be very interested in specific things, and they always like bring it. And one thing, also one downside of board games, sometimes they're expensive, so you can't really have all the.
Oh, it's nice that we got a student budget now.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we have to request it next semester, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, well, we'll find something, but eventually we'll need to worry about storage.
Yeah, eventually. For now, I just bring in the tote.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was one thing. How about you, like Gerald? What's your favorite things about the meetings? You know?
I mean, one of my biggest things, and just not just in board game club, but just clubs in general, is that I really just like doing meeting people that enjoy similar things that I do, and then just having discussions and doing fun activities with each other. I mean, that's why I'm in so many clubs. But board game club is definitely one of the more favorite ones, just because we always get to play games, and games is also just like my second biggest thing I like to do. So, I really just enjoy being able to try out a huge variety of games and get to see get to play with different people and just get to socialize and meet people. So I think that's just the biggest thing, just socialization and being able to play a variety of games that I've never, like I said, never really played before. Otherwise, I've mostly in our family we stick to pretty much a lot of the classics, the ones made by like Hasbro, your Monopolies, your Sorries, your even. And a slightly weirder ones from the companies like Skippo, but we never really went too far outside of that. So seeing a lot of these board games that are a lot more niche definitely is a fun experience.
Yeah. How about you too?
Yeah, yeah. It's good. Like I have a lot of games at home, and it's good to I mean, having a lot of games is one thing, but having people to play them with is less of a trivial thing to achieve. So.
I mean, I was gonna say,
I mean,
as a
obvious.
kid, did you ever have like that thing where like you wanted to play a board game, but like you had like none of your family members were like really that
Yeah.
had the time or were really wanting to?
Yeah, I
play?
think that yes, to like get around to playing still too. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, I saw his catalog. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's all in the basement. I mean, yeah. As a kid, I didn't really have as many board games because like my parents couldn't really understand English that well. So like I never really had that experience of playing board games with others. So like just being in this club and being able to play board games with everybody is really good. And also being as like an officer, I just do feel kind of proud, like helping, create this club and stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. One thing I got into board game in college. I didn't grow up playing board game, which is like really funny. So yeah, I had very slight interest on it, but me and my friend Josh we used to go to Bill Book and Comic to play Magic the Gathering every time. So yeah, the first year I was spending a lot of Magic. I got like I got 6 player into Magic on my freshman year. So yeah, that was like a lot of money spent in Magic. Then in Book and Comic, there was a section for board games, and he told me like, oh, I have, and he's like, Josh is really into board games, and he have like a huge catalog. And yeah, and after that we kind of shifted there. Then I realized, oh, Magic the Gathering takes a lot of time and effort and money, so I don't have time for that. I'm gonna switch to board game. And then one thing led to another, and we ended up like playing actually more board games, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. One thing I when I played board game, I thought it's just the classic games, but it turned out there's a lot of niche stuff that can it's more than meets the eye for me, so that's one interesting thing. And yeah, that's so far on my own interest on board games. So one also we want to talk about some other highlights of this semester. We have the Skipper tournament. We have Steve Harvey. We have Jason. Do it. Let's
I will say, the board game club. There's a lot of secret, secret stuff in there.
Here for first, everybody. This is where you get the exclusive secrets for Board Game Club.
Yeah.
We should start on the Steve Harvey thing.
The Steve Harvey thing. I never thought that would go the way it did. So I guess I'll slightly start because I guess I'm technically the one who has the game. Yeah. So Family Feud is something that my family we watch a little bit. I was really big into watching like some of the game shows on cable television as a kid. So like I enjoyed watching Family Feud, and my parents, like if it was on the background, they would definitely join in, especially my dad. So it's something that we just enjoyed, but even my little brother, even my younger brother got into it, and so my mom just kind of thought it was cheap or it was free, but she was able to find that Family Feud game and was going to give it to my brother. I think eventually did. I can't remember, or gave it to my dad. One of those two. But they I was just asked if I could bring it with the board game club, so I just started bringing it because we don't do a lot of board games at home, so it doesn't get used too often. So I brought it over. And next thing you know, like I have a group that wants to try it, and next thing you know, we have this person who's acting as the host with tons of energy, and next thing you know, we're starting naming him Steve Harvey.
The funny thing, he is the whitest guy in our club. So that's really funny, you know, like, and we always, for the first three, his name is Will. I didn't know that till like 4 times of meeting him. I always call him Steve Harvey. And he is
Crazy.
really,
Imagine shouting that on campus. Yo, Steve.
Oh, dude.
and, you know, Steve Harvey next to Will showing up. So that's really funny. And yeah, I'd stuck with him. So he was really energetic at organizing the event, and we have Steve having music. And
I mean, he
played
played along for sure.
yeah,
He was a good Steve Harvey though. Like
Yeah.
that was crazy. Like
Yeah.
I think I was like playing another board game. I was just like looking at bro.
Yeah.
No, he has the energy for it for sure.
yeah, we went from, oh, let's try this Family Feud obscure game, man. It turns out to the main event of the game. Like, everybody stopped playing, looking at us like, what they're doing. Yeah, and we should have like the wildest answer in that time. So yeah. All right. Now we can and I hope to see him more. I hope we show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he's been like he always play a lot of competitive game, not to win, just to roll dice. to gamble. So
Let's go gambling.
yeah, he's really fun. Shout out to Will. All right, so let's go to the Skipper tournament, probably his favorite part.
I'm not explaining the rules.
I saw the other rules.
Yeah, like I'm.
I guess once again.
I don't know what's the best way to like compact Skippo.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The
Well,
MF game.
well, since I was the one who once again brought the game and was the only one who knew it, I guess initially. So Skippo, for those who don't know, it's from the same creators who made Uno. Basically, the whole goal is to get rid of your deck of cards. And basically, you're just placing cards up from 1 to 12. Once you get to 12, you clear the deck and you start from 1 again. But you're just trying to get rid of your own deck by playing cards from your hand to reach so that you can play the card on top of your deck until you have no more cards in your deck. So what kind of happened was just like this game I thought was worth trying because I hadn't played it in a while. I was like, I want to try playing this again. So I proposed it to a few people, including probably Lean, and we played around. And that game went on for quite a while. For 2 hours. How? What do you? Quite a while. 2 hours.
By the way, for context, our board game meetings are 3 hours, so that literally took up 2/3 of the meeting time.
To be fair, I did not think it was gonna take that long, but I guess with everyone learning the rules and just misplays.
What did the box say? The box said like 15 to 30
Oh, yeah, I
minutes.
remember
Fun for all family members. Like, bro,
They had them both. It was long. It was not that.
because then okay, so who wants to explain this Skippo tournament?
Oh, it was like well before even then, like did you make like the same comeback? Like did you win?
Yeah, I won the tournament.
Well, you won.
Are we talking about that game?
That's big.
No, I didn't win that game.
Okay.
It's because okay, so the setup was that somebody had one card left, and we were all just like working together, not to like for us to win, but for him to win so we could go home.
I think,
And then
see, I wasn't doing that.
and then it went to me, and then I was like getting all my cards down, and I got
down to one.
I got down to one, and I had a choice to make. It's either do I let bro win or do I keep playing, and then I kept playing, and then he played his card anyway, so it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
And then someone decided they liked seeing everyone experiencing what I guess fun torture. I guess I don't know, but then someone decided to have the crazy idea.
Well, it's because we needed a game for the tournament event.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted Skippo besides me. You put out like what? You put out a form on not 1850 group me, and I was the only one that said no.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Wait, I thought you just proposed. Like I remember we played, and you just proposed to. We just want to do the Skippo tournament. And I was just like, I wasn't necessarily thinking of that game for a tournament. I wasn't gonna say no.
I will
my
say-
choice.
I will say it did work out.
Yeah.
But
It was like it was fun. It was like I said, it kind of turned into kind of like a funny torture kind of experience.
no, because oh my goodness. So we can talk about the tournament. Obviously, the tournament it was just divided into brackets of people that played Skippo, and then you eventually get like a 1v1v1.
Yeah.
It was a 1v1v1.
Something.
Yeah.
I set up the tournament in the beginning of beginning of the year, but I didn't pick up the game
Yeah.
until mid. I was searching for a game, and you all guys were very excited when playing Skillball.
There was a lot of energy.
It was
Exciting dynamics online.
Yeah. Somebody was crying, but yeah.
I wonder.
Please let me go. No, but then so the tournament came around, and I'm not gonna lie, playing in the tournament, like I was just praying that I didn't win. But then obviously I can't just like give up, right? But then I keep on winning. But anyways,
You won first place.
oh yeah.
And also, that was the ironic thing to me is like you didn't want to continue playing. Like most people who were in the tournament who still made on were just like they were done and they wanted to move on. I'm sitting here. I lost in the first round, and I was the person who was like I would have played all day doing it. I was fine with doing skip. I was enjoying it. I make one misplay, and then I never come back. I don't even get second place to qualify after the first round, and I'm just like, man, I was the person who actually wanted to continue playing.
Yeah, but no, but somebody had the grand idea of as we're all playing, they play like the Skippo theme, and people were like, oh, at first it was like, what was it? It was like a slower speed too. It was like 0.75. Oh yeah. It's because before then we were letting the Skippo rules, and somebody asked to slow it down.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Musical Stockholm syndrome. Eventually, no, everyone refused to change it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I said on
We
loop.
were counting the loops.
Yes.
And Steve Harvey was leading the chant.
Yeah, it was like I just found like I was just looking up like for Skippo OST stuff just because we typically in Board Game Club one of our main things we have is like we usually have a music playlist like get people can add to play during the club. When we have a client, so that new songs get prioritized. But for that one, I was just like, let's just see if we can find Skippo music. And so I found that app one, and I just set on loop for like the entire first round.
I think it was the second round too. I think.
Second,
no, second round we changed it.
Oh,
It was the Skippo OST or whatever.
Yeah, Skippo OST with the I think
GBA.
it was with Skippo and
Uno.
it was either Uno or Phase 10.
Skippo and Uno.
Yeah, and it was Skippo. Oh, and it was literally that one was there's a GBA game for it, Game Boy Advance, and so I just played music from that for the day, and so our second round had gone on, and let's just say the trend of the 2 hours from when we played it kind of continued in the tournament.
Anyways, I'm not gonna explain what the gameplay was like because it was pretty monotonous. It was just waiting until you could play your cards.
Yeah,
And then
I mean there was strategy, but yeah, it's pretty simple.
no.
I mean, I don't know. You have like discard piles. You have that you can also play from, so you can try to set yourself up. And if you run, and one of the biggest things, like if you run out of cards in your hand, you get brand new hands. So there's also this idea
That is
to
true.
try and get your hand size down to get more cards. So I mean, there's a little bit. There's definitely some amount of strategy to it. But what was crazy is that we had to split the tournament into 2 weeks because we had. We only after 2 rounds on Saturday, and so I was like, okay, well, we're gonna. I was like, we're gonna finish this. I'm not just gonna leave this be. I was just like, we're next week we're gonna finish it. And I and I literally like kept a specific track out of the playlist from playing out of the OST. And then I played it played that one specific track for the finals. It was like. I don't know, it was like intense or something like that.
Intense.
And so I just played that on loop because like it's the finals. This has gotta be 12.
It wasn't as intense as it kept on playing.
And then of course we had to play the one that we started with for the award ceremony for the gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. Like, yeah, we had gifts for the top 3, and yeah, Problem just took his gifts and went back to his seat really fast. Yeah, I wish Problem play more Skippo. He was
Maybe next year.
Again, defend your title.
yeah. The title.
Let me take a vacation.
Oh gosh. Speaking of the playlist, it's one of my favorite part of the meeting. Thanks to Joey, he made a very cool project. Do you want to talk more about your playlist website and why we need it and what the shenanigans happened with it?
So originally we were social music. We just had like a YouTube playlist that we would add to, but problem is, well, one there weren't very many songs on the playlist, so we would get duplicates a lot, and I can't remember.
Eminem, we got the Eminem.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
song.
There's this one song added to it is this weird like it was a Persona 5 Persona 4 song mashed up with with the Eminem song, and it was just for some reason that song showed up every single like day, sort of multiple times a day. It was
I'm happy
very-
about that.
it's very funny, but regardless, it was definitely an imperfect situation. So because it would be nice to have like a playlist that like prioritized newly added songs, and we could actually like control the shuffling. This is something I decided to work on. So over the summer and such, I threw together a simple like PHP application that instead of like a YouTube playlist like on YouTube, it would just be a web page you could visit that would it would store a list of YouTube URLs, YouTube links, and then whenever you went to the page, it would just play a random one, and it would automatically refresh after the song ended. So then from there, you can kind of just do whatever way to choose the next song you wanted. So what I went with was each song has a cooldown, so whenever a song plays, it won't play again for a configurable amount of time. Originally, we did 3 hours because that's how long the meetings were, but I've since changed it to like a couple weeks. That way, it's like every other meeting, so it's like kind of shuffling like twice. So even you won't hear duplicate same song again for the next 2 meetings. So there's a lot more variety, and also there's a lot more songs too. It's like reached like almost 300, I think.
Yeah.
So people have been adding
How
songs.
does that make you feel?
It's pretty nice that it's being used. It's pretty cool. And the other nice thing about it is whenever a song is newly added, it's flagged as a new song. And if there's any new songs, it prioritizes those. So if you add a song to the playlist, it'll play next. So you're incentivized to add stuff that way too, because it's not just throwing in the ether. It'll play next. So I think that's been it was a nice thing to be able to work on. It's like one of the first like products I've been able to work on that actually like is being used. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm pretty proud of.
Wait, so for like the okay, this is like going off topic, I guess. Like for the for using a specific data structure, was it just like a priority queue, or did you
It was an SQLite database that had just a single table. So effectively, I just made a couple of different SQL queries that like prioritize things in different ways. So at first, it queries for new songs, and if that query returns empty, then it queries for songs that are not like recharging, which is realistically will always return songs unless, in the rare chance we were able to listen to every single song like in that amount of time, which might be possible now that I've increased the recharge time, but we got like still it's unlikely we're going to be like spamming the refresh button. But at the very last resort, if in the rare situation every single song is recharging, which probably hasn't happened, it'll just choose a random one. But either way, it's just kind of three kind of levels. So
It's like a priority queue with priority queue with them.
yeah, so it definitely is sort of a priority queue. It's kind of just, I guess when you get really technical, it's in an SQLite database. So it's the actual structure is a B tree that it then queries using different SQL programs, which SQLite compiles into bytecode, but that's getting really in the weeds. But SQLite is pretty cool.
By the way, all the people here are computer science.
Yeah,
So
if
that's
you
why-
you all could figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. All the options are computer science, except for Evan. He's mechanical engineering, I think.
He'll join us. No.
Jason for sure though.
Never mind. Yeah.
Oh. All right, awesome. And also, like, didn't you add Skibidi Toilet season?
Yeah, there's all kinds of. At one point, like just to test things, I would just use the entire. There's the entire as like Skibidi Toilet has progressed. There's there's entire like 40-minute video, like 40 minutes of like Skibidi Toilet season 70 or whatever, and that was the most recent one at the time. And I would just use that as the test video because it could be any video, it could have to be a song, and I just forgot that I was still in there, so it would just like show up every once in a while. Eventually, we removed it, I think, although it was still.
One time, I think we played either half of it or full of it in the meeting.
Yeah, I don't remember, but regardless, it's something where I added a button like later on to like flag like a video that's added to like if somebody adds something that shouldn't be on there, we can like quickly disable it. It's still in the database, but it won't play, which is nice because it means that if somebody were to add that song again, it still won't play. It'll just be permanently like banned unless I decide to go in and unban it or whatever. So
is that easy on your end? Unflagging?
Unflagging, I mean, it's easy enough. I'd have to like SSH in and do some manual SQL queries, but it's not something we've really needed to do, and I don't think it's worth adding a button for.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so as a result, it's that we have some very, very basic moderation, quote unquote moderation, but still there's all kinds of sometimes people just add sound effects or random like 5-second videos, and there's all kinds of stuff in there that just occasionally shows up. It's
I don't know. I like it is. I will say it is kind of fun, just kind of break out the music just a little bit and just have those little clips to some degree. It can be pretty funny. I had like started to think like if we start making it a thing nowadays, I have an entire playlist that I keep mainly for another club because we have media nights where we play different just funny YouTube videos. I have an entire playlist that I keep for myself of like funny YouTube videos. So like maybe I need to start adding like the ones that are shorts in there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
I was on that playlist year ago, like till now, and occasionally I get a notification you add videos. Do you still use it?
The funny video, I have a playlist for funny videos. I don't use the board game club one.
No, for the funny videos, fast fact.
Oh, the fast fact one? No, I don't do the fast fact one. I have my own personal one.
Oh, I get notifications somebody is adding to the playlist from India Night from last year, but anyhow, that's off topic. So, yeah, and I'm happy. Like, oh, the funny thing, I think I'm the only one who added something needed to be flagged by mistake. If you are that was really basic time. So I added a song. I like the song, but I never seen the video clip before.
Wait, was I? Wait. Was that? I was not here then, because I
think I may not have been there.
yeah, I remember.
I remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, let's say things with the screen showed up. The showed up, and I was like really embarrassed. Like, oh no, I like the song. Why the video clip need to be that? So, and the song was kind of wholesome. So, yeah.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't talk about that.
What we got next?
All right. So how do you guys think of the collab with other clubs?
I really like it. I mean, I think it's a great way to really get to meet. You get new people. You get to meet new people because you have people who are like who usually just stick with one club, but will still show up to the collabs. So you get to meet new people, which I think is really neat. And I think it's just cool to also experience like a variety of things as well. Like we had like for example, we don't typically do like D&D or Magic, but we collabed with those clubs. And so like for D&D, while we didn't do necessarily D&D directly because that just takes so long, we did do like D&D like themed board games with the club, which was really fun. And then with Magic the Gathering, we actually did do Magic of the Gatherings.
Yeah.
We had like at least 3 people who were there who never played Magic of the Gathering before and having them try it for the first time. We did do Commander format for that. But that was really neat experience. So I think I really enjoy that because we get a lot we get new people to check out the club who've never been before, and sometimes some of them
Yes.
can end up joining the club after the fact and learn more about us. So I don't know, there's some of my favorite things. I always like doing like our special nights when it comes to board game club, especially the collabs.
Yeah, and also like it makes it feel like a community when we collab and do stuff like that. Like I feel like clubs, especially at UD, they could be very like very unique in terms of just like being isolated from other clubs. So having those like collabs makes it actually feel like, oh, we're actually all college students on this campus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. Shout out to Connor. He's like the first one who helped me collab when he was like UD fandom. When he was the UD fandom president, he graduated. He really helped me start the club. He was like really, he was really supportive in the beginning. And I remember the first collab like we got. At the time we had 7. The next meeting we had like 15 just from the collab. So it's a
Yeah.
good way to meet people. And I like the themes. And yeah, also, how do you guys feel about the theme night we added this semester? So we can experiment on it. So
Team nights are good. They provide a direction for meetings, which is nice because we have a lot of board games. So
Yeah.
specifically finding which board games we should actually play is kind of nice.
I know we did the card game one. Did we do another theme night?
We did card game. We did Last Man Standing.
Oh yeah.
We did. Am I forgetting stuff? I'm trying to remember. Tournament, obviously. Skip. Oh yeah, whatever.
yeah,
But
they were fun.
That was more of a special.
that's such a special event. I'm trying to think of other. I don't think. Oh yeah, no, we didn't because it was like every other week, right? So yeah, that was like our main thing.
Yeah, I think I missed a little bit on the pacing. I had like some weeks just events and some weeks just regular games, so that wasn't me, I think. But yeah, when I have glanced the schedule, things happen in life. For example, like I didn't realize that we will not be having the trip this semester, and things change. So when I organize it, oh, like we need to make changes on the way. I do like the variety, like I don't, I don't want to make it something themed every time, and like I still want to make mix of just showing up and playing your games, and sometimes add direction. So that's my theme. Yeah. So that's most of it. And yeah, it was split up between the collabs also, I think so far. So yeah, I really want to add a music theme next semester. I don't know.
What games are?
I'm like, what board games would involve music unless you like play like one of those like Disney like maybe like one of those disc based board games,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that'd be so funny. Guitar Hero, baby. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
That's not a board game.
Yeah.
That's a game. Not a
That's one of
board.
the things we did have to discuss. I did discuss in like checks. Like, what do we qualify as a
Yeah.
board game? My board game club. That was
Card games count.
yeah.
There's
Yeah, I think what we just discussed, like we talked about how like I think kind of made it almost like party games to be included as well. So like for me, like for example, I at one point during one of the clubs I've done, and I did this also before we were official, was doing Jackbox. Which is really fun and well, it's not a board game per se. Say it is a party game, kind of fits the same kind of
So-
idea.
so could we do Mario Party?
I would argue. I think. Well, I think when we had that on there, I think I put like and last time I did the form, like asking people what you qualify. I think Mario Party was ended up being people something that most people
Oh
were
my
gonna
god,
be.
Mario Party in that club. Oh my goodness.
We maybe that's something we do next semester. We do
Yeah.
we do a Mario Party night.
Yeah.
Right. The biggest thing is just trying to get set up all the. We need a space for that to work.
I think I can figure something out with Dolphin. But we'll see.
We do not support.
Oh, no,
support-
I didn't say that. I said Dolphin. I definitely own all these games.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. It's gonna, yeah. Mario Party theme maybe. So that would be interesting. Yeah, that one thing also. And I'm really excited for the trip for next semester. Like, we always want to set it up, but something happened and get delayed. It's always my
Delays, new management.
We'll definitely figure something out. It's just the
It'll happen.
University of Dayton's going through a lot of stuff. So
yeah, it was interesting. And
Hmm.
so, like, this semester was very challenging for a lot of changes.
yeah, especially this semester.
Yeah.
But
I will say one of the things that could be beneficial for us with the new changes is I'm curious to see what ends up happening is whether or not they're going to do a spring up the awards because they asked if clubs wanted to do that this next semester.
maybe I don't know how that would work. I thought
I know.
like okay, so like obviously you can't be in the field, so they have to do it at the Recplex.
That's literally was my thing. If they did it at the Recplex, I would say yes. But if they try to do it out in the cold outside,
I don't think they would. I think it has to be at the Recplex.
yeah,
Like that. I don't think legally they could do that.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, they make us walk on campus when it's frostbite weather.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Fine.
anything's up for game with
That's
that
fine.
game.
And it was
Oh, yeah, that's very okay. That's fun. So, what everybody's favorite board game? Ooh, the one that like if you can just pick one game and play it.
That's a hard one.
okay. Let's ask you then.
Yeah, I will pick. I would say Spirit Island.
That's pretty good.
I don't think I played that one yet.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So bro gets on me for not playing the spans, but
You have 3 different ones you could play. All right.
okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Assuming I can bring a couple of expansions too, I'd probably say Dominion just because that has like infinite replay value. Well, I guess arguably the replay value is a cap like there's the amount of if you add up the total amount of different cards at each expansion, that would be about that many cards factorial.
Yeah.
Well, I guess actually that would be factorial divided by that amount of cards minus 10 factorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Combinatorics, yeah.
oh, one thing. Do we consider Magic the Island a board game?
Okay. Let's spend it like this. If we're considering Mario Party as like a sort of board game, type
I think that's a better claim than Mario Party.
It counts. I think but we do have a rule for Board Game Club to like exclude specifically TCGs, just because those on their own take up a lot of time. You need a lot of cards.
You need a lot of-
You need to, yeah.
yeah,
And also, there's a Magic the Gathering Club already, so we don't really want to.
yeah.
That's kind of a confliction
Yeah.
of.
we're not trying to steal their customers.
And like
We're-
there's things outside of just like playing the game that are still game all of TCGs like collecting and trading is a big aspect as well. So it just for us, I talk about like I don't think it would be too much for Board Game Club. Now I'm down because like I for me like Magic is something that's new to me for like I really do start doing till college. And right now I'm not really playing it as much really right now, but for me, like I always was a fan of like playing Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, and then I like to collect Pokemon cards. Although most of that is now just the app these days.
Shout out to the app.
Yeah,
That's what
Pokemon
it is.
Pocket. Woo!
I said we could probably go with doing something like in theory, like a draft. Theoretically,
Yeah,
and you don't need to
well,
bring your own cards. That could just
Yeah,
be
and that's what that was one of the things I did propose for like Magic with the Gathering collab was doing a draft, but they ended up just wanting to do commander,
Which is
so
fine.
build decks,
Which is fine, that's
which
good.
I wrote
Yeah.
fine.
From what I get the impression that Magic outside of Commander is slowly kind of on the decline, which is maybe a little unfortunate. But
Yeah, that Magic's going through its own things right now.
Yeah.
But I would argue, like, I think it would be neat. Like, I wouldn't mind there being like maybe instead of just having like Magic the Gathering club, I wouldn't mind seeing like a TCG club where it's just Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic. Nowadays,
or Netrunner.
Lurkana.
Or what?
Netrunner is an interesting one. It's actually made by like Richard Garfield, who like after making Magic the Gathering. But it's interesting in that it's like instead of being designed around, you don't like collect cards. It's like every set you just buy the entire set as a whole. So like you don't need to worry about like collecting expensive cards. You just get a baseline set and then you just can build from there. So it's like more focused on the decks you can design rather than the decks you can afford to.
I mean, I'm more up for like we're somewhat lenient on that. So like I'm definitely up for like things that are more like maybe like I said draft purposes, because then like you don't, not everyone has to bring their own thing. You have everything you need right there. You just need, the only thing would be that you have to spend some time building the deck. But for me personally, that's like one of my favorite parts. So I have no problem with that.
Yeah, or like precons. Like precon, if you just have precons, you could just it's basically a board game at that point. Like just with its larger context. Yeah, I've seen this one like somewhat obscure TCG. I have like 4 precons for. It's called Sorcery. It's like meant to be kind of inspired by early Magic Gathering. That maybe I should bring that at some point because like just I just, you can technically like came with some other cards too, but it also has those 4 precons that is just left intact.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, I wanted to run away with the question of what's the game. But they didn't allow me. So
okay, fine. The first game that comes to my mind is a Scythe.
Yeah, Scythe peak.
Scythe is kind of peak. Like we haven't really played it in Board Game Club yet, but I think we could with like 3 hours.
Yeah.
We could definitely do a game of Scythe.
Once again, I have not played it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Scythe, I would just play it at Joey's house. I like that's like, but it's the first board game that comes to mind. It was like my favorite.
Yeah, maybe next meeting after this one, I'll bring it because I have it in my dorm. So
nice.
it's just basic games. So it's hard. It's a lot to carry, but
Yeah.
For me, I like it's really hard to choose. There's some that come to mind. I'm not gonna lie. Joe, you got me really into Dominion.
Yeah.
It's like, what's it looking at?
Yeah.
Like,
Dominion is peak.
when you told me about that game, I'm like, I always love, like I said, my favorite part about like playing Yu-Gi-Oh was always the deck building process. So having a game where you continually deck building is just really appealing to me. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So like Dominion definitely comes to mind. There's some other things that I really enjoy too. Like I really like playing just so you can play this with very rare cards. Like I like playing like Capitalism/President. I always find that one really fun. Fun, like having the different ranking systems, and then people like setting the person who's in first, and then now being in power. Like I always find that game kind of fun. And then there's like a lot of classics. Like I'm still like a big fan of like Monopoly, although honestly just play the video game version more. I would say.
Playing Monopoly.
Nope.
I think it's just because it's time consuming is the problem. I mean, you could probably fit it within 3 hours, but it really depends on how the game goes.
It depends how skilled everybody is. Like if everybody in that game is skilled, it's gonna take forever.
Yeah, I never. To be fair, I've seen the thumbnail, and title for like the YouTube video for like how to like win at like Monopoly, but I haven't watched it just because I kind of don't want to like beat the system.
Well, even then, the video says that. Oh yeah, there's still some.
Well, of course, there's going to be artists,
Yeah.
regardless. You're rolling dice. I mean, I don't know.
Right. You're rolling dice towards infinity. Yeah, that's gonna be random.
All right. Oh yeah. All right. So, what do you guys all think of the competitive scene for board games? I know you're on esports and there are like competitive scene in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I think it's gonna always fascinates me the idea of board games tournament.
Well, okay, so skip out tournament, right? That was just a lot of randomness. I mean, I don't know. I feel like in terms of competitiveness, like maybe you could make a claim if there's a board game that's really, really like not dependent on RNG.
chess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, oh yeah. See, it does exist.
Yeah, it does exist.
Like as long like if you actually want to make it and like a competitive scene, I feel like the randomness has to be very low.
Yeah, generally having like randomness in the beginning, I think, is something that works because like everyone's at equal footing, even with the randomness, and then it's only like once you decide to do in your response to that randomness that this straight like that's kind of it's convention to me.
I
guess
Pokemon has that too.
I was gonna say like all the TCGs have it because because what cards you end up getting in your starting hand is different every single time you play. But the thing is, the biggest thing like to make things like competitive, and still work, even if there's a level of randomness, is just making it so that the people in control feel like they have control, and that they're getting and they're feeling the payoff of their decisions. If they can if players feel that way, and generally players that typically have quote unquote more skill than the other typically on regular basis still wins, then the game I think absolutely can be competitive. I know for me, when it comes to playing board games, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of games that are like 100% RNG. Like I don't have the biggest interest. I like having the games that have like it may still be very RNG based, but at least it allows me has a level of agency and kind of and somewhat has at least some level of control over what my fate is in terms of what happens in the game.
Yeah. The notable exception in some TCGs of like what the equivalent of mana screwing, where you just don't have the enough like resources to play. Although that's where mulligans come in.
Yeah, like I said, then you have mulligans without, which helps with the RNG aspect.
Yeah, that's true. Fun trivia. Do you know, guys? Do you guys know Scrabble? I think.
Yeah.
Scrabble. Oh yeah.
Oh,
That one does have. I do know that one having world tournaments. I actually find enough to watch a small like video snippet of someone who there was someone who literally was saying dictionaries, and like won the English tournament and like I think there may have been a world tournament, but he literally went to another country. He literally went to France, looked at their dictionary, memorized the dictionary, like all these big words that not even the people he was playing against knew, and he won the tournament despite being an English speaker.
I think he doesn't speak that language.
Yeah,
No,
he doesn't.
I think he like mispronounced some of the words too. He was just like,
Yeah,
versus.
he just memorized the dictionary.
Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating. Interesting.
The pro was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that did have a competitive scene as well.
Yeah, I really want to like more into it. Like, what other games? I can't imagine a competitive Catan. That will suck.
I think the way they do it with Catan is you for Catan tournaments, like you don't just it's not just a straight up bracket where like the person who wins goes to go on. It's like you get points for winning, but you also get like kind of this meta currency, like meta points for like other things. Like if you get the longest road, even if you don't win, you still progress somewhat in the tournament. That like kind of somewhat mitigates the randomness, so you can still like do well even if you're not the winner of that specific game. Although of course that does have the cost of disincentivizing winning a little bit, but it is something you can do with some
Level of
with some tweaking of how you do a tournament.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Now I remember something. Back in my hometown, like back in Saudi Arabia, when I went to a card game shop there, they have like it was a card game, TCG and board games, and Catan is really big into the competitive scene. They sponsored a competition. If you win, you will go to Malaysia, I think. You go to another country to compete there. So yeah, it's kind of big, you know. Yeah, that's something I just remember randomly. And yeah, so far the competitive scene, maybe, yeah.
You know, we are forgetting the biggest board game competitive scene / card game. We don't really think about it. And it has tons of RNG still in it, but it still has huge world championships. Texas Hold'em poker.
Oh yeah.
Like actual gambling, but that one has enough. That one has at least enough agency to have these world championships, and are professional players for it because there is enough agency over how you play the game in that. That's like probably the biggest one for sure out there in the world is, or at least here in the United States, maybe, but yeah, that's probably the biggest one.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, we're almost wrapping up the episode, but I have two more questions. First question is, what's the most game you're excited to play for next year or in the future? So the game in your top wish list, I will.
What are we defining as game?
Board game. So
Oh, yeah.
board game. Yeah,
How
yeah. For me, is Dune Imperium. I had a lot of good
Oh, yeah.
stuff about
Very
it.
good thing. Yeah, that would be cool to play at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. So how about you, Joey? Is there a specific game you really excited to play?
Maybe Clank. It's another like deck building game. So, but it has this interesting mechanic where like it's like a dungeon crawler / deck building game. But the gimmick is some like things you do as a cost. You're in this cave, but there's this dragon that will kill you if it hears you and is able to catch up to you. And so the way that's represented is some items make noise called clank, which lets you have this big bag full of like black cubes that don't correspond to any player. But anytime you make noise, you put some of your own cubes in that bag, and then you draw random cubes from that bag, and if your cube is drawn, you get devoured. So it's like this growing tension.
I'm not sure. I haven't been looking into board games.
More Skippo.
All right, Jared, you take the state, I guess.
So I mean, I in the same way, I don't really keep up much with like board game news in terms of like new stuff coming out, and so I don't have too much in particular. One thing I could say is that if I'm going down the cheap route and talk about technicalities, one game that's on my wish list that I have is Super Mario Party Jamboree 3. I don't have that Mario Party game yet, and so far it's a nice return to form for the Mario Party series for it to be a new game that's closer to the older styles, and I know that one was very well received. So I would really like to grab that and play that as a big Nintendo fan, but I'm just a fan of Mario Party in general. Um, in a similar vein, I would also say like the Jackbox game more Jackbox games would be on my bucket list. I haven't played anything past eight, so I'd be curious to try some of that. In terms of like a regular board game stuff, I don't know of anything in particular. I do know I've been curious about I believe if anyone knows the Netflix series The Dragon Prince, that series actually has I think your one or two board games. There was one that I was keeping an eye on that was like in development. I think it was like senior or something like that. I can't remember, but there's one I was interested in. So I wouldn't mind trying that out just as someone who's a really big fan of that series.
Nice, nice. All right. So for the final question is, what is the like who was a person that fictional or real, dead or alive, you want to play a game with, and what's that game? So yeah, I'm gonna start. I wanna play Family Feud with the actual Steve Harvey. So
Okay. See, this is a real hard one. Let's see.
I think I'll go. I think it'd be really cool. Like if we're going down the fictional route, and once again, we exclude this discount. Honestly, I don't. Especially if I have to learn how to ride one. But I want to go ahead and do a duel against Yusei Fudo from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds on the actual bikes. I actually want to do that duel. I would so want to do that. That would be so fun. Right, doing driving so fast and but while still having to think about your plays. Like, I don't know, that to me like, would be like just a really fun experience.
Yeah. You also would be legally allowed to use pot of greed.
If it was legal, to be fair, I don't know if ever got played in 5Ds. It definitely did in the original and GX, but I don't know if they did it after. I don't know if it ever got played in 5Ds and onward. But it definitely, I mean, if as long as it ain't banned, I mean, I'm putting it in my deck. You ain't stopping me.
No.
Yeah, I suppose this is more of a like this is less of a person and more of a thing that looks like a person. But playing chess against the mechanical Turk would be pretty cool. Just
oh yeah.
if you've heard about that, it's basically it was a supposed chess playing automaton this guy made, like a chess playing robot this guy made in like the 1700s, which it turns out it is a hoax because it actually wasn't a chess playing robot. Had a chess guy, they had a chess master inside who was control.
Right.
But it was still, I mean, I think even knowing that, it's still pretty impressive that he's able to make this like really like humanoid robot that can pick up pieces and move them around, like even if it's controlled. Like that's pretty cool for the technology of its time. You know, but
Especially the 1700s.
yes, yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy. 1700s.
Well, I don't remember where it was sometime in that century.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
remember
just
the
it's
exact.
still crazy.
Yeah, I always thought that seemed like a very interesting time to be alive. Like, there's so much stuff going on there. There's like country, like coal, like all like the whole like geopolitical situation is completely like getting turned over. It's like right before things are about to go like really insane with the 1800s and building up to like all the fun wars. Well, for some, definitely didn't have fun, but
Yeah.
mechanics are gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think like it's very impressive because you have this one chess genius. He is like stuck in a robot and claiming to be a real person and traveling the world and beating people all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really impressive.
yeah. We cool to see it. That's since I mean, I'm aware that it's not actually a fully automatic robot. It's actually a person controlling it. Well, that means I'd be able to like allow to look inside afterwards too.
Yeah.
You take a look inside, like bro.
I'm just like just seeing all like the big ass
The
parts.
mechanical parts, yeah.
Yeah. it's like that's what happens, I guess, when you combine the two various minds. Like, a great chess player and engineer. That's what happens when you put them together.
Yeah.
I just want to play chess against Luigi.
Okay.
Yeah,
Valid.
yeah, but like
Right.
this is what I'll fulfill my wish from like 5th grade.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. I think that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much, guys, for showing up and recording. That was a lot of fun. You know, like
Yeah.
we went over everything. There any final remarks, things?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's fun experience. I haven't done a podcast before, so this is definitely
Yeah.
fun.
Woo!
So I definitely enjoyed it. Also, shout out to the guest speaker we had this semester as well.
Jason,
Okay.
yeah,
Jason
thank you.
Morgan.
Remind me, I was going to talk that, but just slipped out of my mind. Thank you to Jason Modwell. He was really, he's a self-published tabletop RPG games, and he
He
gave
also makes zines for himself as well.
zines, yeah, and he made a great speech about, he gave a great presentation about how to make your own games, and he was just really interactive. And one thing I'm going to ask him to be in the next guest for this episode, for this
Yeah.
podcast. So that's a foreshadowing, you know?
Yeah.
Ta-da! All right, thank you so much. And we reached an hour exactly. All right. Be safe, everyone. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.